Describe a tool or equipment that you rely on often in your daily life. Explain why it is important to you. Include reasons and examples to support your response.
Begin to prepare your response after the beep. Begin speaking after the beep.
Some people prefer to solve a challenge all by themselves. Others prefer to rely on other people's help. Which do you prefer and why? Include details and examples in your explanation.
Begin to prepare your response after the beep. Begin speaking after the beep.
Now listen to two students discussing the article. I don't think this is a good idea.
Why not?
It's not going to solve the problem. You see, we are already busy at night. We have homework to do, jobs, social events. It's not like we have been waiting for the evening computer classes.
Yeah, I know what you are saying. I'm busy at night too.
Not only that, I don't think they're using the money wisely. You see? They could just buy more computers instead of hiring more faculties to run the classes at night.
What do you mean?
You see, with a low computer price nowadays, they should just buy more computers. If they have evening classes, they would have to hire more faculties. This would cost more money in the long run.
Will there be enough space in the labs?
The computer classes are really big. There's plenty of space. I think it's very cost-effective if they buy more computers than offering evening classes.
The computer department is considering a scheduling change. Explain the man's opinion of the change and the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Begin to prepare your response after the beep. Begin speaking after the beep.
Now listen to a lecture in a psychology class.
You can see many examples of this all the time. Let's say, for example, a kid goes to school for the first time. He's new to having a set of rules and doesn't know much about how to behave in the class. So he would, walk around the classroom or talk with his friend when he's not supposed to. And guess what happens? The teacher gets angry and punishes the kid. He would have to stay in class during break, or he would have to serve detention. He would get punished somehow. Soon he would know that this kind of behavior gets him in trouble. So he tries not to misbehave next time. He also learns later that when he pays attention in class or sits quietly during class or raises his hand before he says something in class, he would get praised. The teacher gets happy and may give him extra points. So the kid knows that the good kind of behavior brings happiness and satisfaction to both the teacher and himself. He would always act this way.
Using the example from the lecture, explain what behavior modification is and how it works.
Begin to prepare your response after the beep. Begin speaking after the beep.
Now listen to a conversation between two students. Hi, Lisa. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Mark. I'm stressed about my study group. We're not being very effective, and as you know, none of us did very well in the last midterm.
What about your study group? What's the problem?
Well, we've been studying together for about a couple of months, and we became good friends. And instead of studying, we tend to joke around a lot.
Well, then, it's not a good study group. When do you guys meet?
Every Friday afternoon?
Have you thought about changing it to another day? You see, Fridays are not a good day to meet and study. It's because students tend to get tired by Friday and they want to relax.
That's a good idea. But we became such good friends, and I think we'll talk a lot no matter what day we meet. I'm not so sure.
Well then, how about picking a study group leader?
What do you mean?
Well, that's what we do in our study group. David is our leader and he organizes everything. Having a study group leader helps all the members because everything's organized. David would email us telling about how the meeting went, when our next meeting will be, setting the agenda and goals, and so on.
Wow! I've never thought about having a leader. I guess it could work, but don't you think the leader would have too much work? I mean, the leader has to study too, right?
Well, then you could take turns. That's what we do in our group.
Okay, thanks. I would have to think about this.
The man proposes two solutions to the problem the woman describes. Briefly summarize the problem, then state which solution you recommend and explain why.
Begin to prepare your response after the beep. Begin speaking after the beep.
Listen to part of a lecture in a business class. Let's say a consumer is choosing between two products, two identical products. What do you think matters the most in choosing a product? Of course, a consumer would choose a product with a higher quality. Everybody agrees with this, right? But now, what is higher quality? I mean, what does it mean for a product to be a high-quality product? Well, business analysts usually come up with two major factors of quality. One is reliability, and the other is called features. Now, reliability. What is reliability? What does it mean when a product is reliable? Well, a product is reliable if the consumer can rely on the product, meaning the product doesn't break easily and doesn't need repairs too often. For example, if a car doesn't work well as it should, let's say it needs to be repaired every 1,000 miles or so, then the car isn't very reliable. So reliability is a factor that most consumers look for when buying a product. But that's not a deciding factor anymore. Because of the development in technology, a lot of products nowadays are very reliable. Cars today are very reliable. They work well to our expectations. They don't break down easily. If reliability isn't a deciding factor in choosing products anymore, then what is? Features. Consumers now compare features in a product. Features are like accessories. The things that aren't really necessary but good to have, like electric windows, sunroof, power locks, Customers don't need these features to operate a car, but they are nice things to have. So these extra features are now playing big factors because cars today are very reliable. So people look for nice features when they go and shop for cars. That's why manufacturers include so many features in their products. Using points and examples from the lecture, explain the two major factors of product quality and how they have changed in time.
Begin to prepare your response after the beep. Begin speaking after the beep.